Libra. Libra, this is your monthly for April of 2025. And I'm noticing this, and I have no desire to put it back in the deck right now. It may be a message for you. I'm going to go ahead and interpret it, but it's going to be outside of the normal monthly spread. But it's the Knight of Swords. And he was sitting over there just like that in the upright. I did just do Virgo, and somehow he got shuffled out or thrown over there somehow for some reason. And like I said, I have no desire to put him back in the deck. So this could be someone that was in your life right now, Libra, or someone who came in and then went right back out. Like he had business to go to with someone else and you were just a pit stop. Very action-oriented, very ambitious, very, high, see ya kind of a energy. So you may be dealing with that from one or more people in your life too. It could also be just that someone is coming in to, at some point this month, come in, see you for the first time in a long time, because it does feel like it's somebody that you know that's like, oh, really, you went that way about it. Well, that's okay, I guess. Hope it works out for you. And then they are off somewhere else. They're not looking into it too deeply, and they're just seeing it surface level, but you may have actually cared about what this person thought at one point, and now you're just like, well, what made them say it like that? What made them react to that like that? I thought that was going to be a good thing, and now I'm questioning things. And it's, with the Knight of Swords, it's all about the communication style, and he's not thinking too much right now about what he's doing because he has his mindset on just straight, clear communicating, straight, clear getting to where he needs to go and saying what he needs to say to get there. That being said, this comment that I see him, and this could be a woman too, that's coming in and saying this to you, but it's just someone who is on it. And they just happen to run into you at a certain point, and it's like, oh, really, you went that way about it. Like, it could be anything from you decide you are never going to have kids, and then you run into them and you have 3, and maybe you were eternally a bottle blonde, and now all of a sudden you're your natural redhead self, or something like that, and it's like, oh, really, that's not who you were last time I saw you. I still recognize you, but this isn't who you were last time I saw you. And it's not so much that you're not keeping up to their expectations of how you are or how you would be, is that I think maybe you've changed that much and even you don't realize it. And when this person comes in with this narrow little snippet of a vision of what you are, because that's how they've dealt with you in their life, that's the figure, that's like the little G.I. Joe figurine that you've been in their life, it just catches them off guard somehow, but not enough to delay them from what it is they need to do. So he's going to go out there, and I think that's all that you needed out of that one. Now, for your 5 for the month, and then we'll see what else we get. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. And this month is going to start slow for you, but it's going to ramp up pretty quick, and you may get knocked around a little bit, but it could also be that you are the one knocking things around. We've got the 8 of Pentacles in the upright over here, followed by Death, and I think that this is going to be you trying to hold yourself up to a high standard, but maybe getting locked into a position of what has to be exactly like that because that one I see is perfect. And that may be little to no difference between that one and about 40 other ones that you've done already. Because this is someone that's doing the same thing over and over again, trying to perfect it, trying to build muscle memory, trying to build a skill, and doing all due diligence to do this. However, it's taking some of the passion out of the work that he once loved. And again, you could be male or female, it doesn't matter. This figure just is supposedly male, so we're going with that. But yeah, it may be more important for you to work on developing skill rather than acting like you're already an expert and trying to sell or I don't know, it's almost like you're trying to monetize something too early. You're trying to see what it is that you can get out of something without really having anything to sell. And I think that's why the death card is here. It's like you start something, but before you even really start it, it's already done with, because the reason why you get to this point where you're starting something with this product, with this thing, it could even be a relationship that you're trying to build into a partnership. You're realizing that it was over before it started. And it's not just you, it's like, this was a great pipe dream for all of 5 minutes, all of one drunk night, and then it's like, yeah, that was nice, and now I'm going to go live my real life. Which is why we've got the Hermit next. The Hermit is trying to shine a light on where he was and where that was supposed to get him, because he's lost sight of, in this energy right now, I think he's really lost sight of where he wanted to be and why he was doing the things that he was doing in order to get there. And you've got 2 Virgo cards pretty much in a row, separated by death. There is a possibility that you are in a friendship, pseudo partnership with either a Virgo or a Scorpio, and a Virgo or a Scorpio is getting in the way of this, because I think the Scorpio may be coming in and being like, that's great, but what's the point in that? And then you're like, yeah, you got a good point. I don't really know what the point of that is. To make money? Who's going to buy that, though? And that's why things end up falling dead in the water. And there could be an argument somewhere along the line, not like an argument, but like a conversation where someone brings up the fact that, oh, there's like how many different soap companies, and you are making a soap out of the pre-made stuff, and are you really going to make any money out of that? And, well, yeah, it's a hobby that you like to do, but how long are you really going to do it? And are you really going to be able to keep that around to be able to sell it? And where are you going to store it? Like, someone comes in and is like, oh, excuse me, it's all about the practical side of this somehow, and they're not necessarily meaning to, because these are valid questions, but they want to know where the practicality is coming in. And if you don't have any answers for that, you may not even want to come up with the answers. You may not want to find the answers and just be like, oh, well, that's a good point, tra la la la, and skip off to do something else. That is exactly the image that I just had in my mind. And it's because you've got this Queen of Wands over here, and she's fire. She's like, well, whatever I do is what I do, and I'm good at it because I say I'm kind of independent streak. Like, it may even be someone that Now, whether this is you or someone you're dealing with, Libra, well, I don't see you doing anything. Why do you have a right to criticize what I'm doing? Anyway, bye. And that's why there is this Four of Wands in reverse. It's the 1111 card, but it's not building a foundation on which anything else can stand. This is about building the self, and because it's about the self changing your mind, changing your opinion. And like I said with the Knight of Swords at the beginning, it's someone coming in and saying, well, I didn't think you'd be doing that. Like, that's not very you of you. And you may be questioning what happened and how much did you change? Did you lose yourself? I don't think you have, Libra. I think you've just evolved into something else. You've evolved into a different kind of a monster, and it's not to say that that's a bad thing, but whenever things are unpredictable and they don't fit into a box that we find to be convenient, it'll be seen as something that's like the Wolfman or like the Frankenstein's monster, is challenging the idea of what a person is supposed to be or what that person is or what you are, Libra, and that's why you get to see that look on somebody's face. You get to see the wheels turning in somebody else's head and maybe like somehow making you not a priority because you changed something. Or before, because you were probably a part of a group and there was a lot of commonality and everybody did a lot of the same things, and then it happens, people just grow up and separate and change once they're on their own, and they can react on their own, and they don't have to run their decisions by anybody else, and they don't have to deal with anybody else's direct opinion about anything. They don't have to ask anybody else's opinion before they do something because it really doesn't involve anybody else except for them. And that's where the personal self starts to develop and change, and I think that's what's happened. And with that being said, it may cause some conflict because a part of you may be trying to grab on to what you used to be, but it's almost as though you might be overcompensating whenever doing this. And that part of you may still want that support, still want that feedback, still want that kind of give back in a relationship from multiple people, and it's not necessarily something that you're going to get. It's likely that you started some of your more current small circle, most inner circle, that you've started those relationships after you made this change and after you got past that needing approval, needing that social approval, and the people that you have around you right now may not be anything like the people that you knew before. So they're wondering what's going on and why are you suddenly like this, and almost like you go from being independent to being needy. Being direct and getting shit done on your own to asking someone's opinion every step of the way, and I don't think it's really going to come off as a breakdown of communication with people around you, because I don't think you have a problem with that. I think it's within yourself that this issue might crop up, but it may take until the middle of May to get this all straightened out for you, because that's what I'm getting right now. Because this Four of Wands is coming up at the end. And I almost stopped the reading there, but yeah, because you're wanting to give and receive opinion, you're wanting to be heard, but you may have surrounded yourself with a lot of relationships that don't need that feedback. And there's going to be something that fulfills this want of communication that you have. And it may be involving a Pisces, but it's likely that it's a long distance kind of communication. But it'll help reset you somehow. And I'm saying that because I think this is the last card. I'm going to show you the bottom card because I think that might be, I have no idea what it is right now, but I think that might actually help kind of wrap all this up. But the last card that I'm drawing is Temperance, and it's not surprising. Even though it's a Sagittarius card, I really see it as a Libra card because Temperance is about balancing it out, finding balance, finding the patience, taking one thing from one side and putting it to the other just to even out the weight or get it as close as we can, and finding exactly why things may have been unbalanced to begin with. It may take a minute for you to get back there, but even if you do get thrown off balance this month, Libra, it's not going to be too much of an exercise for you to get back to where you were. Which I really think is within more of within yourself kind of a center rather than constantly needing somebody else's opinion. I don't know why I just shuffled this. I was going to show the bottom of the deck, but anyway, that card has changed now, and that card is now this. Yeah, so there's some ideas, some perceptions that you are going to end up dealing with at some point. And I don't think it's going to be a long-term issue. I think this is just a way of the universe showing you how much it is that you have changed, how much you've been able to evolve as a person, as an adult. And even though this comes off as currently imprisoned, I don't think that's it. I think you may end up seeing yourself as being imprisoned before because of all of these opinions, all of these unwarranted conversations that could have focused on appearance or on the latest diet or something like that in the long run wasn't going to make too much of a difference, but it was something to talk about. Even though looking back at it now, you may find that it was offensive. It was based on likely some very shallow emotion, some shallow something shallow that it's really going to be easy for you to get over once you realize this is the trap that you're falling back into. And I think you will find that it's a trap. Not these relationships with these people from the past, but the way that you allow them to make you feel. For no good reason at all. But Libra, that's where I'm going to leave you. And you guys have a good month. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I will hopefully be back with weekend readings, weekly readings, and the whole shebang here soon. I have been keeping up on the daily, so keep an eye out for those. And I will see you guys later.